very disconcerting. All right. I'm back. I hope you all come back with me here on this. Now I'm sweating. See, now I'm sweating. Hi, who's back with me now? Josh. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming back. I don't even know what that's about. I really don't. I'm like, see, this is what happens when you have ADHD and you're the only one who's doing all the work. It's overwhelming. And I'm trying to make for a great experience for you all, but oh, thank you. Let me put on my old lady reading glasses. I look lovely, thank you. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you. Only one loose screw. Yeah, thank you, Josh. I'm the loose screw. I'm definitely the loose screw. Listen, guys. If anybody would like to, I don't want to say, no. I'll put it this way. I need an admin, and you would only have to volunteer for a short period of time before my newly monetized channel would be able to compensate you. I get it if you don't want to work for free for any period of time. I wouldn't want to either. However, if you're a super fan and you want to help this channel grow and just blow up and like help us to become like the own of YouTube and ADHD, let's talk. So speaking of talk, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? This is the Ask Me Anything Q&A. You can ask me anything about ADHD. You can ask me anything about the ADHD conference. And or you can ask me anything about coaching, becoming an ADHD coach. If you want to think about getting some coaching services, we can talk about that. It's up to you, everybody. I just want to say before you start asking questions, though, and every time you ask a question, I'm going to have to do this. Okay? If you guys see me doing this, that means somebody has asked a question in very small print. Okay. Okay. My Adderall has worn off. Anyway, I should have taken a dose before this started. Anyway, I do want to take a moment to thank you all, first of all, to thank you and let you know how gracious I am. I'm just very, grateful that I am that you all support this channel. This channel, ADHD is the New Black, has been live, active, going on 3 years now, and it's been a slow haul. I don't know what the normal progression for growth on a YouTube channel actually is for anybody who doesn't do gaming, but I am just so proud to be able to represent the ADHD community. Let me see. Did I have fun at the conference? I did have fun at the conference. Thank you so much. It was, I'll tell you, is post-holiday depression a thing? It absolutely is. You know what, guys? I'm going to write down your questions, and I will, because I can't answer them as they come in, if they're coming in on top of each other. So I will write them down, and I will come back to them. Okay? But I did want to talk about the conference. The conference was a lot of fun, and I'll tell you why. So how many of you, first of all, if you have ADHD, if you're diagnosed ADHD, or you even think you're ADHD, just comment with me. Just say me. And if you have ADHD, and if you do have the impairments, so sorry I'm late. Tiffany, that's okay. Kamala. Hi, Kamala. I know Kamala's got ADHD. Hi, Kamala. Kamala is a fellow coach, coaching student with me at ADGA, the Attention Deficit Coaching Academy. Hi, Veronica. You've got it too. Love. She's got it. I'm assuming Love's a she. It could be a he. I don't know. Love. What do you go by? What are your pronouns? Janera's, hi. You do too. So if you've got it, listen, put in the comments here if you're the hyperactive type, if you're the inattentive type. Thank you, Love. She's a she. I thought so. Mwah, I love love. If you're hyperactive, if you're inattentive, or if you're combined. And it doesn't matter what kind you are. I'm just using this to illustrate a point about being at the ADHD conference. So there were an estimated there were 800 people registered for the conference. So love is inattentive. Um, there were at least 800 people. Kamala combined, me too. Tiffany, late diagnosed, me too. Tiffany combined, Janaris, okay. There were at least 800 people registered for the conference. And I don't know how many people actually showed up. Feels like it was a lot, more than that. And that's just based on the number of seminars that they had programmed over the 3.5 days. There were concurrent seminars going on from 8:30 in the morning all the way to 7:30 at night. So you couldn't see all of the seminars because suppose you went to one that started at 10, but another one you wanted to see was at 10. Hi, Paula. Hi, Paula. Good to see Paula. Paula's one of my coaching clients. And so luckily the conference has recorded all of the seminars so that if you couldn't be in two places at once, which you can't, obviously, you can go back and watch some of the seminars that were recorded. Okay, so imagine you're inattentive type, or you're combined type, or you're hyperactive type. Imagine just being around at least 800 other people in one confined, large, spacious space, though. Imagine being around at least 800 other people just like you, okay? Now, let me tell you, I don't know how you feel about being around other people who run late, who lose things, who are forgetful, who talk over other people, who just, all the stuff. Whatever your most challenging symptoms are, imagine 800 people around you just like that. It was amazing. And it was amazing because of this. First of all, I don't work at the hotel, so I didn't have to deal with any of us. I made a joke to one of the hotel staff. I was like, boy, I bet you guys are having fun checking in people all day. And they were like, oh no, it's great. I did notice that the people at CHAD who were staffing the check-ins, staffing the COVID check-ins, I did notice a lot of them were neurotypical types. They had to be because there's a lot of organization going on. It was fun, crazy bunch. Yes, Veronica. It sure was. And I'm so glad that most of the people who were in those key positions who were responsible for being organized, and just keeping up with just so many things that were going on at one time and basically wrangling cats. That's what the whole weekend was about, just wrangling cats. They were very good at it. A few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it was like, I want to thank the people, the CHAD people and Ada for just being able to wrangle cats all weekend, because that's what it was, just wrangling cats all weekend. And I did talk to one of the girls who volunteered for CHAD about, checking in people, registration and everything. And I did an interview with her, which I have not actually posted yet, but I will. Guys, I have so much content backed up from last weekend that I'm still editing through it to, whittle it down and put out the best stuff for you. But I asked her in an interview on camera, I'm like, so you have ADHD? And she's like, no, I don't. When somebody's neurotypical, they get that straight back and they're like, no, I don't. Anyway, so no, she was very kind. I'm like, do you have ADHD? She's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, so you're neurotypical? She goes, yes, I can. And I'm like, and you've been checking in people all day, making sure people have everything they need? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's that been like? Because I witnessed, some chaos, and I brought a little chaos myself. And she said, you know what? She says, it's been wonderful, because she's like, no matter what people need, no matter what people have forgotten, no matter what people are challenged with, she's like, I'm here for it. I'm patient. I'm here for it because I understand. And she almost made me cry when she said that, because you don't really find a lot of people who don't get it to say, I'm here for it. So that's all I want to say. She was so kind and just so real. you know, because me, I was like, man, there's some flaky folks around here. These the flakiest. This is the most flaky people I've ever been around. No, I'm kidding. I'm not really kidding. Anyway, so yeah, what do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to know? Ask questions, ask away. Oh, somebody did ask if post-holiday depression is a thing. Yes, post-holiday depression, it is a very real thing, and it is not specific to ADHD. Um, there are tons of people with ADHD and other conditions, or with no other conditions other than anxiety or depression, who do go through seasons of depression, and they actually call it seasonal depression. How about that? Um, and things, different things trigger it. It can be the lack of, as much light in the wintertime that triggers it. It could be, not feeling like you are connected to other people or family members or loved ones or friends around the holidays. A lot of rumination comes up around this time for many people, especially, if you've lost some loved ones in the last couple of years, especially. Yeah, that's post-holiday depression is a very real thing. And if you're going through that, I would recommend that you talk to someone who you're close to, um, who can just maybe just listen to what's going on with you. And, if it's a clinical thing, I would say if you have a healthcare provider, please talk to them about it. I mean, if it's just a little bit of the blues, talk to your friends, talk to somebody who understands, especially if you've been through this before. If you know yourself and you're like, oh, it's that time of the year again, I get the post-holiday blues, then, just remember, how did you get through it the last time? What did you do last year to get through it? What did you do previous years to get through it? And if it's something that carries on past the holidays, then I can't tell you what to do, obviously, but you really want to seek out a professional who can help you sort through your emotions around this time of year, because this is a really tough time of the year to be depressed. Myself, my mother, she passed away a year ago this past Thanksgiving. Well, a year ago this past Thursday. And I, it was a day of a lot of contemplation. I wasn't necessarily sad. I wasn't with family either. Um, it's just, well, I had just lost my dog right before her anniversary of her passing, and it was her dog. I don't know if you all have seen any videos about that. Um, it was just a really tough time losing her dog, because it was like losing her again. So I think maybe I was a little buffered by the time the 3 weeks that passed until the anniversary of her death came up. It's been tough, but I will tell you guys, the ADHD community has been there for me. You guys have been ride or dies. I can't think of any other time in my life since starting this channel where people who are physically in my life aren't there for me as much as this community. You guys out here, on the other side of this screen right here, you all are out here. You have been there for me through some really awful things, and I thank you all so much. So this has just been a lovely, lovely, pleasant surprise, and I'm there for it. I'm there for it. All right. Now, who had a question? I saw some questions pop up, a lot of them at one time, and I don't think I caught them. Let me see. Um, by the way, you all know that super chats are available if you guys would like to do some super chats. Just so you know, any super chat that you purchase, that question will pop up to the top. It will stay there, and I'll be able to see it. Hey, Wakanda. Hi, Wakanda. Wakanda. Okay, first of all, I am so down with your name. Wakanda. Wakanda is such a huge supporter of mine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, the super chat stickers are available. If you all want to ask a question using a super chat, it pops up and it stays up so I can see it. And it does cost a couple of dimes. I don't know how many dimes, but just know every dime that you all donate today, it does go towards the support of the labor that I do on this channel. And just in case you all were wondering, because I did get asked this quite a lot at the conference, people were wanting to know, well, how are you like able to make ends meet while you're doing, your content, and how's that going? Is your channel monetized? Are you making money? And I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not being supported yet by my channel. I do have a small legion of supporters on Patreon. That's a couple of dollars a month. That helps. I wanted that to become like some sort of basis, or some sort of, savings to be able to put back into the business. The business of ADHD is the new black. Like if any of my equipment breaks, to be able to replace it. If to maybe hire somebody to help me with my admin or my social media management. But it's like, every dollar is just like already, oh, Kamala, thank you, I appreciate it. Because every dollar before it even comes in, Kamala's $5, it's already gone. It is like every dollar that comes in is already earmarked, because I'm so behind on so many bills. And not even like the fluffy bills like Netflix. I mean, like, the real bills, like the phone bill. Even when they cut me off during the conference last week, I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna communicate with anybody with no phone service at the conference? And then, thank goodness, Verizon turned me back on, because I called them. Please, I'm just I'm begging to get back. I'm on a work trip. And they're like, shush, shush, honey. Shush, shush. We got you. So I was able to pay that. But like car insurance, it all adds up. And California is expensive. Not that this is any of your problems, guys, but when I lost all my jobs when COVID started, I had just started this channel as a hobby. And then when other content creators were like, you know how much money I'm making? If I don't make less than X amount of dollars per month, then I'm not even having a good month. I'm like, what? I didn't make that much last year. So it wasn't like, oh, I gotta give me that money. It was like, oh, I put a lot of work into this channel. I put 90 hours at least per long video, and I started to realize that, the work I'm doing, if I was working for Warner Brothers or NBC or any of the production houses out here for what I'm doing, I would be making I wouldn't have time to have a channel. That's one thing, but my car payments would be made. Tiffany, thank you so much, Tiffany. I really appreciate it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me value what I'm doing, because I know why I got into this. I didn't get into this for the money. I know that. I got into it because I was doing bits in front of my audience at A Little Late with Lily Singh when I was her audience warm-up comic. And I just started taking my Adderall. And I was making these jokes to her audience, who are mostly black and brown women, by the way. I was just making bits about how Adderall has affected me. I'm sure I've like talked about this before, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the bits for you guys because I did this whole stand-up at the talent show at the Chad conference last week. I did these bits, and they went over well. I mean, it was a little raggedy, but everybody's like, oh, that's so good. I'm like, stop shitting me. Anyway, one of the bits I was doing with the audience was how I had just started treating my ADHD with medication, with Adderall. And I noticed that almost immediately the Adderall changed my taste in men. It was like, before Adderall, my taste was exclusively, almost 100% into white guys since like 8th grade. And then after Adderall, it was like suddenly somebody turned on the lights. It was like, what? Where'd all these good looking black guys come from? Like somebody had put some shea butter glasses on me, and I'm like, what? What? Where'd all these brothers been hiding? They just been like walking right by me every day. Hadn't noticed until I started taking Adderall. I don't know what that's about. Okay, that's like not a side effect that's listed on the bottle at all. Okay, Kamala, yes, I am crazy, but it's the truth. It is a true story. You know, I'm like, all these years that I have only been interested in white guys, that was a symptom of my ADHD. Had no idea. Anyway, so yeah, I did that bit, and it was true. Like, people weren't like, "You're making that up." I mean, no, people were like, "You're making it up," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. It's the truth. It's the truth." Um, However, I'm sorely single, and I am open to anyone right now. Okay, anyone, any guy, black, brown, blue, yellow, purple, red. I don't care. Okay, if you got, like, a good heart, and you get me and my ADHD. And you can be short. You can be short. I don't care. As long as you are tall when you stand on your wallet, that's good too. Because I'm not very good with finances. ADHD, dyscalculia. I'm just saying. Anyway, whose dose did you get? I don't know whose dose I got, Paula. It was formulated just for Stacy Michelle. I don't know if any. Okay, has anybody else? Is anybody else, first of all, taking Adderall? Anybody? Just say yes if you're taking Adderall or any of the stimulant medications. If you're taking any of the stimulants, just say yes or do a thumbs up. Because I want to know. I want to know if any of you all are having any interesting side effects that were not listed on the bottle. Paris, Kamala, yes, yes. Any interesting side effects you would like to share with me? Like all of a sudden you're into, Dr. Spock looking kind of guys. I don't know. I have no idea why my taste like just did a 180. Paula, is that yes that you're on stimulants, or yes you're noticing some interesting side effects? Stratera, Lavinia, how's that going for you? So, y'all didn't see that. I just totally spilled water right in my lap, but that's okay. Paris, you have failed so far. Failed at what? Please tell me. Let's talk about this. Guys, this is supposed to be a question and answer, not me just, talking this whole time, which I could just keep talking. I have no problem with that. Paula, Adderall, no side effects. Okay, that's good. That's good. No side effects is a good thing. I'm not saying my particular side effects were a bad thing. I'm just saying it was quite peculiar. That's all I'm saying. So questions, guys, please go ahead and ask me questions. I don't want to be accused of being too chatty in my own chat. Questions. What would you guys like to know? What would you all like to know? I want to know things about you. I believe, Tiffany, you did ask me, how do you become an ADHD coach? If that was your question, please just do a quick thumbs up. If that was you, Tiffany, and this is for all of you if you're interested, you become an ADHD coach by looking into the academies or schools that offer accreditation to become an ADHD coach. ADHD coaching is a branch of life coaching, but you want to find an academy that specifically has a curriculum geared towards learning how to coach ADHD clients. I am in ADDCA, ADDCA, the Attention Deficit Disorder Coaching Academy. Can't believe I remembered all those letters. And there is another coaching academy, I believe it's called ADCO, ADCO, maybe if someone has a better idea. I don't want to mess it up, but I believe it is ADCO. And you'll just have to do your own investigation as far as which program you feel like is best for you. I believe, Lavinia, I saw a chat pop up, but it disappeared just that quick. Could you please repost that question? Because these chats like pop up and disappear instantly. Paris, what's some advice you would give to someone who is newly diagnosed with ADHD, especially as a black woman? You are also a black woman. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. That would be weird if you're a white woman. Like, so what advice would you give somebody black with ADHD? I just want to know, because I need to, find out the formula. Paris, what advice would I give? I guess, Paris, that would depend on what concerns you have, or what's left unanswered in your mind about your diagnosis. So you could please type that in. Lavinia, how do you get your meds every month? My nurse makes me get an appointment every time. Is that right? It's expensive when I just need to... Well, yes. Lavinia, I'm sorry, I'm reading these. These chats pop up so quickly, you all. Just so you know, no pressure to buy a super chat, but if you do, do a super chat. The chat does stay up longer, so I can actually read it before it disappears. Yes, Lavinia, it first of all, because Adderall is a Schedule 2 drug, meaning it has a street value in real talk. Uh, the I'm assuming you're in the United States. The government, federal government, is very strict on um, who can prescribe it and how often it can be prescribed. So if you're noticing, they won't even talk to you about refilling your prescription. Well, first of all, they won't refill your prescription. You have to get a new prescription every 31 days. There are no refills for stimulants. They won't even talk to you about it really until that 30 days is up. At least the pharmacist won't. With your doctor, this is what I've learned from my current prescriber. She advises me about a week before I'm about to run out of pills, because I've been running out of pills like left and right, guys. Like just for the last year, on top of the Adderall shortage, I was taking too many pills because my schedule's variable. And some days I would need support for like 16 hours. So instead of me taking one extended release, which in my body only lasts about 4 or 5 hours because I have fast metabolism, you know, I was redosing on the extended release like 1 or 2 more times. And then I was running out of pills like a full week and a half before my time was up. And so ADHD med process is not ADD friendly. Thank you. It is not, Kamala. It's sure, even in Canada? Wow. So my doctor told me that about a week before I'm running out of the pills themselves, to give her a call so that she could go ahead and push through that prescription to be filled on the date it's supposed to be filled. As far as me running out of the pills, she gave me, and I had to ask for this. I see a question. My doctor writes me a few refills at a time. Really? Generous. Where do you live? In Mexico? You know what? I had a doctor that did that too. However, he was like, do not turn in all of these refills at one time or I'll lose my license. And I'm like, oh, I got you. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So my doctor, in order to support me, I had to ask for this though. In order for me to not use up all my extended release before the end of the month, because, Jenner's Canada. Okay, I thought you guys were a little more strict than that, but okay. My doctor, at my request, wrote a separate prescription for immediate release at the same dosage, so that if I needed extra support, Jenner sends it directly to the pharmacy. Me too. Hi, Paris. New here. Good to see you. Alicia, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So my doctor, she writes a second prescription. When she writes my extended release, she writes the immediate release too, the same dosage, but it's just in case I need more support longer during the day, I can take a pill of immediate release instead of using up all my extended release. I know that took a second to get out. I'm sorry, all these chats are popping up and then disappearing. Not terribly chat friendly, is it? Anyway, guys, what else would you all like to ask me, please? What else would you like to ask me? Oh, Tiffany, about your coaching, your coaching question, look into the 2 academies. If what you're reading doesn't really mean anything to you, because you're like, I don't even know about coaching. What is the measure? What's the benchmark? I would ask somebody who is, I saw expensive in LA. Yes, it is. I would ask someone in the professional ADHD community, like what are the support groups like CHAD or ADA, the Attention Deficit Association. They have a lot of support groups, and there are a lot of coaches in those support groups. And so I would ask different coaches where they did their training and what they like about it. And something in there will resonate with you, and it'll help you to choose which academy. I will say, I do know the ADCA is more expensive than the other one. And, but it's my experience that it's worth it, very much so. Let's see. Kamala and Jenners are talking to each other. Okay, well, we'll just let them have a little talk off in your little secret room. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Questions, guys. I feel like this is like just me talking in a mirror. Like, oh, I was talking to myself like I do every morning. Thank you all so far who have actually purchased a super sticker or super chat. Thank you all so much. It's nice that you don't have to go to the doctor every month. Yeah, I must be, guys. Canada, you guys have it, I feel like, a lot easier than we do in America. So come on, guys. I'm here. Questions. What would you like to know? Do you want to know anything about the content, my creation process, why I haven't put out a long video in a few weeks? I can answer that right now, and I apologize, but it's for a really good reason. I am in the Coaching Academy. Our coaching curriculum went from being all textbook for the first like 2 or 3 months to being just like, oh, we're coaching now. We're not in the book anymore. It went from 0 to 100 like overnight. So it's like, I'm talking to you, Stacy and Kamala. Yeah, Jenner's, look, see, Jenner's, she has that whole multitasking thing going on. Thank you. Tiffany, yes, okay, I'm glad it was you that I was able to answer that coaching question for. Thank you guys for the donation there. I really appreciate that. What was I saying? Forgot what, guys, keep me on track. Y'all know I have ADHD. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. What was I talking about? Oh, well, y'all talk. How often do I plan on having those live Q&As? How often should I have them? Why don't you guys tell me? I'll give you guys multiple choice because, make it easier. Should I have a live Q&A once a week, once every other week, once a month, or once every 3 years? You guys put in what you think. Put in what you guys would like to see as far as the live Q&As weekly. Okay, weekly. And you know what? This wasn't so hard to do. I mean, it took me a minute to figure out how to set it up. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Were y'all here for the beginning of this live chat? It was alien interference from outer space or whatever. No multiple choice questions. Come on, Kamala. You know we do better when we don't have too many choices. Once a week, okay? Again, the options were once a week, once every other week, once a month, every 3 months, or every 3 years. Alicia, can I see your question? No, I can't. Let me see. Oh, let me tap on this. Oh, look at there. Can I see your question? I see where you asked me if I could see your question. Hey, look at this. A whole little thing of questions just popped up on the side. Doggone it. I'm so slow, you all. I'm sorry. Atuber Humus asked me if Adderall makes me feel speedy. Yes, sometimes. Oh, where'd the chats go? The chats disappeared. What is up with these? Y'all, sorry. I am so not tech savvy. Maybe it'll pop up again. There we go. Here's some more. Okay. Weekly sounds good, but whatever is best for you. Thank you, Paula. Actually, this would be pretty easy for me to do once a week. Let's see. Alicia, what question were you referring to? I don't see a question before this. Alicia, Alicia, I see your sticker. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I don't see the question associated with it, though. Could you retype your question, Alicia? I don't want to... Oh, here it is, Alicia. Never mind. I see. 5:24 p.m. Hey. That's Alicia, guys. I'm going to act it out. Alicia, I'm going to act this out for you. Hey. I had a question. What other countries... Now it disappeared. Where'd it go? Look at that. See? My laptop ain't right. Here it is. Hey, I had a question. What other countries are good for providing services, therapy, counseling, medication support groups, schools, scholarships, etc. for Black women with dyscalculia? Whoa! Another Black woman with dyscalculia. Sister, give me 3. Give me 3. Give me 5. That was a joke and I totally messed it up. I was going to say, give me 5. No, wait. Give me 3. Let's see. Sorry. I got bad dad jokes tonight. Alicia, give me 3. Okay. Alicia, guess what? Weekly. Alicia says weekly too. Alicia, I know that I have dyscalculia. To be honest, I haven't been able to find many resources for people with dyscalculia. It doesn't really, at least here in LA, it doesn't seem to be one. Other than, little advice videos I see, like get somebody else to manage your checkbook. Like that's the biggest advice I have seen on YouTube and otherwise for people with women with dyscalculia. Like, you might want to get someone to help you manage your finances. Like, really? Really? Oh my, I never would have thought about that. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I married a guy who I thought was going to be good with money. He just turned out to be cheap and wouldn't give me any. I'm not joking. Yeah, that's like terrible advice. Just find someone to manage your finances. Oh, okay. Well, let me order one up here in the Good with Finances catalog. That's not helpful at all. Unfortunately, that's probably like the best advice anybody has at this point. Like, really, what can you do about dyscalculia if you're an independent person? If you're not being taken care of by someone, if someone isn't responsible for you financially. I don't even know how I'm into this far, to be honest. I mean, it is my financial life has been like this. Boop, 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 boop. Like I go through phases where I make lots of money and I'll be like, yeah, I'm okay. And then like I will be like, yeah, I'm okay. And then I'll forget that I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And then I'll just like live. And then it'll be like, because I'm in an entertainment business, our finances are so variable, and I haven't even been working in entertainment since COVID, but it's like the money's like this. And of course, I'll get like a paycheck job, a bread and butter job, a side hustle job, to kind of keep things flowing along. But, it's like, I just never seem to notice how much money I have or don't have. And I'm not even an extravagant spender, like I don't get my nails done, I don't get my hair done. Alicia, I did see that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alicia. Oh, you gave me 5. She gave me 3. No, she gave me 5. Oh, God, I messed that joke up again. She gave me 5. All right. What was I saying, guys? I don't remember. I suck at money. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, not that I don't try. I try so hard. Let me tell you guys. I've known I suck at money since like I was 22 years old. I remember I had a babysitting part-time gig while I was working in my first career as a newscaster, right? I just started my first career, my first job as a newscaster, and we were making like so little money. Or should I say I was making so little money. I'm pretty sure that because I didn't know I could negotiate my salary, that I was probably the lowest paid person in that newsroom. I don't know that for a fact, but I bet I was, because I was the only black woman in that newsroom. And I used to hear some of the other people, kids, I mean, we're all kids, 23, 24 at the time, who were at the same level I was, talking about the trips they were taking and, the this they were buying and that they were buying. And I'm like, well, and I mean, I know some of them had credit cards. And I know one of them, her dad was still supporting her. And I just figured it out just now. Her dad was supporting her. Nobody was supporting me. I'm just saying. Why did it take me that long to figure that out? Anyway, yeah, now she works at CNN. She's making lots of money. And I'm sitting here in a 1-bedroom apartment with too many animals. And I'm okay with that, to be honest. I'm okay. I mean, not that part. I'm okay with changing careers. Wow, guys, come on, ask me some questions. I thought y'all were gonna come with it. I thought you guys were gonna ask me all kinds of questions, like, where'd you get that fabulous wig? I'm kidding. I'm not. Like, why are your glasses so thick? Because I don't see very well up close anymore, guys. Turning 30 again really sucks. I'm just gonna say, the eyes start going. Tell me about my animals. Oh, okay. Well, at the moment, somebody wants to know about my animals. I'll try to keep it quick. I've always loved cats. I've always been a cat person. And when I was little, I got a little traumatized. My dad did not like cats. And every time I'd bring home a kitten, it would mysteriously disappear after a very short period of time. Like my mom. And okay, let me put some things in the context, because you know how we ADHD people love putting things in the context. We need context. My grandparents raised me. They adopted me and raised me from a baby. I'm from Alabama. Somebody asked me if I miss home for Christmas. Yes, but not home the way it is now. I miss home the way it was up until about 10, 15 years ago, because now people have passed away and it's not the same, But my grandparents raised me, and my dad. Oh, thank you, Generis. I appreciate it. Um, oh, I used to sell these earrings. I still have a bunch of earrings. I should sell stuff on my YouTube channel. Like I just have money sitting around here in the form of like things I don't use anymore. If I could just remember to do that. That's the problem. Like I don't remember to do the things that I'm like, yeah, that would help me. Every week, okay, Tiffany, guys, it's official. I will do a live stream every single week. Every single week. It's official. What was I saying? Oh yes, back to cats. Okay, my cat story. I'll really try to keep it short. So my daddy, I call my grandparents mommy and daddy because they raised me, they adopted me legally when I was a baby. So mom and dad, we lived in the country, like country with a K in Alabama, and we lived on a lot of land. And sometimes, a stray cat would wander in and out of the picture, and I would keep, stray cat that would come in, or somebody's cat would have a litter of kittens, and they'd always give me one because they knew I loved cats. Well, guys, cats just did not last long in my household because my dad did not like cats, okay? Even my aunts and uncles who he raised, decades before me have told me stories about how he hated, I don't want to say hated, but he didn't like cats, and they would mysteriously disappear. So my first cat, I named her Henrietta. Jennifer would buy earrings for me, girl. Oh, how about this? How about I just post something like in a store or something? Or how about next week? When we do the live thing, I'll just like have some earrings. If you guys want to buy them, you can buy them for me. Like they're brand new. Like I used to like sell jewelry on the side, thinking that would just make me so much money. And then it's like, oh, I gotta market this? Who do they think they're talking to? Anyway, what was that question? I didn't see. It popped up and then it left. Yes, thank you, Paula. You need to sell stuff too. Executive functioning skills does prevent it. It's like we would not be good Amway distributors, would we? Not at all, actually. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So long story short, my first cat, Henrietta, whom I named after the cat on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, disappeared after a couple of years. My second cat, Snowy, she stuck around long enough to have a litter of kittens underneath my bed. And then instead of having one cat, we suddenly had like 10 cats, right? And so the whole kitten caboodle just mysteriously disappeared after me and mom had come back from a trip from Chicago. It was literally like, Daddy, where's Snowy? Where are all the kittens? Oh, them cats run away from here. That was always his excuse. Them cats must have run away from here. Okay, so 4 cats we had that incident with from age 4 for me until 18. And so I made a vow that when I was out on my own and had my own place, that I was going to make it up to those kitties who disappeared into the ether some way by taking very good care of the cats in my life. So I've had cats since I've been a grown-up, and they have each lived to be at least 17 years old. And so I'm like, I knew cats could live longer if you just wouldn't take them out and throw them in the forest somewhere. So that's the deal with cats. So currently I have a 7-year-old cat. He's blind. His name is Quincy. He didn't start out blind. He went blind. We were on an episode of My Cat from Hell, by the way. Me and my ex-husband. And turns out my ex-husband was the problem with the cat. I'm not kidding. Anyway, so he left. I'm like, it's just you and a cat. I think I'm keeping the cat. Okay. Anyway, in addition to Quincy, I have big bull mastiff girl named Desilu. She's a rescue. She started out as a foster. Had her, oh my goodness, going on 3 years now. I got tricked into fostering her. Not tricked, but I started fostering her right before Christmas 3 years ago. And she was a shy dog. She had been traumatized. She only bonded with me. She would not come out of the cage to meet anybody else. And so she comes here. And The shelter was like, oh, just keep her as long as you want. I just keep fostering her. Keep. Dog was not housebroken. Dog, she has so many issues, but she loved Quincy. The second she walked in, you could just see eyes, the hearts coming out of her eyes. And so I'm like, okay, you can stay. Then COVID came, and so none of the shelters had animals. They kept calling. I'm like, what should I do with Desi? They're like, oh, you can have her. I practically got the dog for free because of COVID, okay? And she is such a love. And then last year, 18 months ago, my mother passed away. Paula, how did my family receive my ADHD diagnosis? I'll answer that in just a second. 18 months ago, my mother, who went into assisted living because of her dementia, well, her dog of 15 years, little Max Dixon, a beautiful little Yorkie poo, real sassy little dog, was about to get sent to the shelter because my sister, nor anyone else in my family, wanted this poor little dog. And so I had to go to Chicago and take him because I'm like, you are not sending our mother's dog, her companion of 15 years, to the shelter after all this time? Anyway, he's like, felt like family. So I took him, and he's been just a joy, but he passed away 3 weeks ago. Well, 4 weeks ago tomorrow, actually. So that was my pet story. Somebody asked me that question like an hour ago. I'm sorry. Didn't mean. Paula's question is, how did my family receive my ADHD diagnosis? I don't think they knew what the heck I was talking about. I really don't. Guys, I don't know if you all noticed, but I'm black, and I come from a black family. You know, we're good people. Your mom has dementia too. Atuber, I'm so sorry. Atuber hummus. Is that your real name? Okay. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. Dementia is not a kind disease at all. It's not. And my aunt, who is most like my mother, next to my grandmother, she's going through it now too, and she got it young. She's still young, so that really sucks. But my family. Okay, so my biological mother, I've always heard her over the years allude to the fact that she thinks, Bryant, yes they do, don't you? Don't they? Bryant, I went to high school, somebody named Bryant Mitchell. A tuber. No, you're Jennifer. Okay. Okay, Jennifer. So my biological mother, over the years, she used to allude to the fact, especially after seeing an episode of Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz, if they did something on like ADHD or any other condition where ADHD or ADD came up. And she would call me, I think I have that ADD thing. Dr. Phil talked about this AD something D. She could never get the letters in the right order. But she was like, I think I got that. So she always knew. I think she always knew that she had it. Way before I was like thinking about my ADHD. And I didn't know much about it then. Because my mother, she always thought she had something. Like everything she had. She always had a condition. Like every condition she thought she had after watching Dr. Phil, right? And so it wasn't until going on 4 years now, I got re-diagnosed and started treating it. And when I told her, she was like so supportive. She was, matter of fact, this was the turning point for my mother's relationship and I, because we'd never been very close because she didn't raise me right. She didn't raise me right. She just didn't raise me, right? Question mark. She didn't raise me right. She raised me so wrong. No, she didn't raise me. So we did not have a close bond or close relationship. But, she tried, and I always felt resistant to it because we were just like, we didn't get along very well. And I didn't realize until much later, like a few years ago, that the reason we didn't get along in my mind or in my experience was because she and I shared the exact same ADHD traits. So the things that I was really ashamed about with myself that I had not admitted to myself was ADHD, or wouldn't even tell anybody I was having issues in the workplace with attention to details and things like that, or finances. They were some of the things that she was always lecturing me about. But I didn't know until later that she was lecturing me about those things because she struggled with them too. I was always like, why are you up in my business? Get up in my business. You don't know me. You raised me. You don't know what's going on with me. Sorry. I didn't say it like that. But I feel like I did. I didn't. That's my inner like real black girl. Like, what's going on? Like, you don't know me. Anyway, um, so when I told her about my treatment and diagnosis, it really just our relationship turned on a dime. Up until I told her about my diagnosis and treatment, we had never had a conversation where we did not just burst out into like a knockdown, drag out argument. It was like we'd get on the phone and a hockey fight would break out. We were just like going at it. And when I told her about my diagnosis, she was so curious. She wanted to know all about it. She wanted to know all about the drugs, the treatment, how I was feeling, what it did for me. And I was like, oh, wow, you seem to be really into this. And then she reiterated, well, I think I had an ADD thing that Dr. Phil was talking about, or Dr. Oz. And I'm like, oh. And after that, guys, we never fought again. And I'm so happy that happened, because it wasn't very long after that her dementia really started to, escalate or just become just more encompassing, and took most of her personality away. So I was very happy we found some peace on this common ground of ADHD. It was a blessing, actually. It's a blessing. So yeah, who asked me that question 35 minutes ago? Paula asked me a question. Paula, can you please, let me see if I can bring up the chat. Paula asked me, oh, love, how do I like Chicago? I love Chicago, love. I love Chicago. My family has lived there. When I say my family, I told you my grandparents raised me. Their children are legally my sisters and brothers, in addition to being my aunts and uncles. Yeah, I'm from Alabama. And so they all left Alabama after they all graduated high school, way before I was born. So they all migrated, the Great Migration, I guess you could call it, to Chicago. And that's where they all got married and had their kids. So all of my first cousins are city folk. Like, they were all born and raised in Chicago, went to, city schools in Chicago. And I am the only first cousin out of like 15, 16 of us who is the country cousin. I am the country with a K cousin, okay? So I would see them every time, they'd come down. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, me too. I'm glad I found peace too. What was I saying? Oh, love, you're in Chicago? What part of Chicago? Yeah, every time I would see my first cousins, it was when, the family would come down for the holidays or for summers, and I miss those days, to be honest. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that I was raised with my grandparents, because I have a relationship with them that none of them have, because I was raised as their child. And I got to know our great aunts and great uncles, because they were all in that area too. And none of my first cousins can even name them, and I got to know them, in my childhood. And I mean, I got, I was the weird one, of course, because, I liked country music. And, and I listened to pop radio, white pop radio back in the 80s. I got made fun of a lot for that. And the only reason I did not listen to black radio was because our one black radio station in my hometown was on AM, on the AM dial, and my ears could not stand the AM frequency, because it was had a lot of noise in it, like the quality wasn't like FM. Like FM is clear, it's got beat, like you could hear the bass. There's no bass. It was just all treble in AM. I couldn't stand listening to AM radio, so I never did. So I wasn't like up on like, black music and stuff growing up. I wasn't, like I was into like Duran Duran. If it was on America's Top 40 Countdown and Casey Kasem played the video in the 80s, I was into it, okay? If it was on MTV, which I couldn't see until I went to my aunt's house because we didn't have cable, but whatever. If it was on MTV in the 80s and 90s, I was into it. And I don't mean like yo MTV Raps. Like that was after I got out of high school. I mean, like, some of my favorite groups were like, who's it, Toto? Meet you all the way. I did it. Rosanna, yeah. My cousins, they used to rag me so hard over that song. Because I remember the summer that song came out, Don't look it up. And my cousin, who's like 5 years older than I, he's like a teenager, 15 maybe. He was like, yo, cuz, what radio station y'all got around here? And I was like, oh, let me show you. And I turn on the FM station. Like we had like a dozen FM stations from like, all surrounding cities and stuff. Now one black station was on AM and I wouldn't touch it because it drove my ears nuts, right? And so Toto comes on and then my cousin's like, what is this? And then my other cousin's like, oh no, cuz, oh, it's got a good beat. And then they started liking it. And they're just like over there dancing. So, if any of my cousins are into any pop bands or progressive pop bands like Toto from the 80s, it's because of me. Yeah. What was the question? I don't even remember the question. Oh my goodness. Guys, we have 4 more minutes left in this live stream. This went so fast. I'm having so much fun with you all. Anybody else? Did I not answer any questions? Did I like change lanes before I finished answering a question, which I probably did? This is so much fun. I wish I could see your faces. Before we leave, guys, I just want to really quick let you all know that I am progressing through my coaching program, and I just finished coaching my first little batch of student coaches, and I'll be opening up my calendar for Ramona. Ramona loved Toto. She wore the cassette. Thank you. I knew you guys were my people. High five. High five. I knew you were my people. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rain. Okay, anyway. I'm going to be opening up a calendar for the next 4 student coaching sessions. There's some of you who have not finished out this first round. I'll be opening up that calendar to you. Bon Jovi. Me too, Paula. Yes. Ramona. Yes, sister. Why don't this... there we go. So I'll be doing student coaching for another 4 weeks or so. And just so you all know, after my student coaching sessions are over, I will still be considered a student coach until I'm accredited. But our requirements for classes... that period will be complete over the next coming weeks, and after I've turned in my requirements, the recorded sessions, my prices will be going up. So just let you guys know, if you're interested in coaching, you better get in now while I'm cheap. Not cheap, affordable, ridiculously affordable. And you know what? I'm gonna share something with y'all. I got like a minute and a half. When I was at the conference, the majority of the people in attendance were other ADHD coaches from around the world. And I got to know a lot about their business structure. And, a lot of people have been doing it for a while. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of the people that I met didn't seem to have some of the skills or the training that I'm experiencing in the ADCA, the Attention Deficit Disorder Coaching Academy. And some of them are charging exorbitant amounts of money. And it seemed some people I spoke to were very money centric. It wasn't like client first and then money. It was like a lot of the conversations that I overheard or listened to were just about how much money they were making, how much they were charging their clients, and you mean and it was like, it was really a turnoff to me. Me, the brokest person in the room, was sitting there like, oh, you money grubbers, I'm sitting there with no money, and they're like, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm jealous you guys are making that much money. It was like, oh, what? I don't hear anything about you caring about the client or the client's experience, or or giving any consideration to whether some clients can actually afford your $100 an hour. Some people can, but it was a turnoff. It was a turnoff. And maybe I have an issue with money. I don't know. Maybe I have an issue. I know. Okay, maybe. Duh. I have this calculator. I know I have an issue with money. I have like an emotional thing, like, usually the people who need these kind of services usually are the people who can pay the least amount for these services. I mean, not always, clearly, but I also have to value what I have to offer as well. So I am, still trying to figure out that middle ground, that fine line, because I wasn't expecting to go all in. When I started my YouTube channel, I was not expecting to like just go all in head first. I was like, oh, I'll just do this YouTube channel until, my jobs come back on some of the shows or whatever, and they never did. And let me tell you what, guys, I thought my goal was to have a successful YouTube channel, and it is. Believe me, it is. My channel just became eligible for monetization. Thank you. But thank you guys. By the way, thank you all. Oh my gosh, those of you who like participated in my watchathon marathon and you just watched my videos and just kept watching them until I hit those 4,000 watch hours. Pfft, I don't even know why I didn't even think of that before. Thank you. Thank you so much. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh my gosh, guys. What was I saying? I don't even. All right. Well, that's it. Sorry, but that's it. If you guys are interested in becoming, woohoo, Brittany, yes, thank you. If you guys are interested in coaching, ADHD coaching, becoming a client, or interested in what ADHD coaching is and if you can benefit for it, guys, please email me. Email me at adhdisthenewblack@gmail.com. And you can set up a discovery call. It's free of charge, just to see if coaching is something that you need. And again, for the next several weeks until maybe mid-January, those are the coaching clients or the student coaching rates. And after mid-January, it will be not student coaching rates. I just put it that way. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. All right, y'all. It has been such a joy to sit here with you all and just take some of your questions and just sit with you all. And I'm so grateful for this community. I really am. And I just want you all to know that wherever you are in your ADHD journey, I've been there. And I'm not saying I have figured it all out. I have not. You never figure it out. You think you have it figured out, only to take 10 steps backwards and realize, well, I did have it figured out. I just didn't do the thing. Like we can figure out stuff. We just don't apply stuff because we forget. And that's just the plague of ADHD. I hate to say it. But that's part of the journey. And, we can do hard things. We can do hard things because we've done them before. And we just have to keep getting up and dusting ourselves off and moving forward. So, guys, I will be putting out, yes, Janaris, it is nice to find community. My throat is so sore now. Okay, I am going to be getting off now because my battery's dying. And I just wanted to say I love you all so much. I really do. We've talked before, if I'm coaching you, we've never met before, I have a heart for you all. Just want you all to know, wherever you all are, I've been there. Trust me. And thank you, Ramona. Thank you. No, I appreciate you guys. I guess that is it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but oh well. Okay, guys. I will see you all soon. I'll be putting out more videos soon. I promise. I got like such a backlog. They're coming. Please be patient with the videos, guys. They are coming. The next video will probably be the next episode of the ADHD Diaries from my 10-year-old diary. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I'm quite mortified, to be honest. I've read those journal entries literally 1,000 times, but never out loud. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm reading this to people. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. God bless you all. And we'll talk soon. Yes, I will start doing this every week. Every week I will schedule a live stream at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. every Sunday, guys, right here. All right. Talk to you soon, all. Bye-bye.